Okay, today we're going to talk about bobbins, bobbin cases. Now on the workbench with Doug Thompson, he does a really good video on bobbin cases. Today I want to really concentrate on bobbins and bobbin cases. Why is it important to have the correct bobbin? Now by correct bobbin I mean here it shows you or height, and it also has to have some defined diameter. So why would that be? That is because when the bobbin is in the bobbin case, if it is the wrong size, it will initially start off making stitches, but it will be noisy. And then as it removes thread from the bobbin will start to lift up and down inside the bobbin case if it's the wrong height, for example. And if it's the wrong height and it's lifting up and down, eventually when that top thread goes to come round the bobbin case, it'll catch that bobbin in the up stroke and boom, your machine will just go into crash landing 101. So it is very important that whenever we talk about, for example, style L bobbins, well, we all know that there are different style L dependent on whether it's a Viking machine, the little green ones, the style L with the little humpy backs, and our style L, this is a style L with a little humpy back, for example. And these, coupled with a style L like this is a badly pre-wound style L. So watch this guy. Here's a little cheapy pre-wound L that Ira had in her multi-needle today, and it kept stopping. There, it stopped again. And if that happens whenever you're trying to sew and this thread sticks, your top thread comes round again. All hell breaks loose down there. So the thing to remember whenever we're talking about bobbins is, bobbins, this is a class 15, this is a class 15, this is a class 15, that's an L, they're different height. This is a good class 15. Here's a class 15, here's a class. Now this is a class 15 that comes with the machine. Now I want you to see if you can hear something. This is a good one. This is a cheap one. So did you hear the difference? The difference is the cheap one sounds higher frequency. This guy more solid. This guy is the right size. He's 11.5, he's 20.5 millimeters in diameter. We're talking about this guy here in the center. And he's going to be 11.5 plus or minus 0.15 millimeter. So that's not much. I mean, that's almost less than a human hair. And that means that when I drop the bobbin into the bobbin case, the edge of the bobbin is just under the back edge of the felt. Just under it. So whenever I put my cover on, my three little feet that hang down from the underside of my cover actually stop the bobbin case from bouncing. We've had many instances where people have bought class 15 bobbins. They've bought Dritz, or they bought some other company bobbins. So this here is a Dritz class 15 bobbin. But you will notice there's this outer ring in the class 15. And this one, there's the outside of the bobbin, and then there's this sort of outer ring. These bobbins are very unstable in a modern Brother or Baby Lock sewing machine. They will cause you nothing but grief. They are a little bit smaller, so they're only 20 millimeters in diameter, so they've a lot more rattle, and they're only 11 millimeters tall, so they bounce rapidly as you get near the, so it will start off okay, but as you get down near the end of the bobbin, that bobbin will start to oscillate. It will stop your machine. Most of the Baby Lock and Brother machines, the bigger Baby Lock and Brother machines, come with this little adapter that you drop inside the bobbin case, and what that will allow to happen is it will allow a style L bobbin to be the same height as a class 15. It will bring the edge up. The way the text says using pre-wound bobbins almost makes you think you have to use this when you use a pre-wound. You only use this if you are using a pre-wound style L. This is the one that Japan loves you to use, which is a Quilts pre-wound. But of course now today there are all types of pre-wound bobbins in plastic and without any sidewall on them at all. Okay, well we're just closing up. I just wanted on the internet we find this thing telling us that there's 60 different types of bobbins, and I wanted to point out one thing. This is a class 15, but it's an A style. Did you know there was an A style and a J style? See, the A style is really for what's called a CB machine. That's a machine that doesn't have a full rotation and a stitch. There's the L style. M style, that's for your long arm machines. And then a little bit more here. You can get a Singer class 15. The Singer class 15 has got nothing to do with a Baby Lock or Brother class 15. You can get a Singer class 66. Again, this is a bobbin that is used. We find them quite often in machines because you can get these in plastic and in metal, and they're terrible things to put in a machine. Like here's a little Viking class 15. Oh no, that's a Viking L, but you see it's a 10.4, slightly different height. So you need to watch all these things. The Duke is only 8.7. All these things contribute to a really horrible experience on your sewing machine. So just to close up and review exactly what we've said, your machine asked you to use a specific bobbin. Like Brother and Baby Lock want you to use an SA 156. Well, that's a class 15 bobbin that measures 20.5 millimeter in diameter and 11.5 millimeter in height. If you use that bobbin, you will have no trouble.
Other than the multi-needle and the
yes.
straight stitch machine.
Yes, and yes, your multi-needle machines, they use style L, and the long arms use style M. One final thing about the cheaper pre-wounds, you cannot reuse those bobbins. What will happen is when the thread is being wound in the bobbin, it'll crack the inner core. It'll actually crack the bobbin in the center. And you won't notice it, but your machine will notice it. And then whenever you go to try and fill it again, your bobbin winder will notice it, and you will end up with a soft fill. You will end up with a bobbin that has not a nice uniform feel. A bobbin should look like this. It should look lovely and uniform when you have wound it properly. This is one Ira just wound for her machine. You see how nice and full, you can't move it, you can't dent it. That's a uniform fill. Uniform means good results, predictable results. That's what you want.